Hello everyone, I want to make a short video that's fell on my heart and got on my mind, and I want to share it with you. I got to thinking about how we count things, how we determine things. And so let me get started. I'm going to be in uh, Romans 8:16 through 18 at the first in the King James Version of the Bible. Maybe this will make it clear. It said, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For I reckon." At first, it just seemed like that's a method of talk, like we do in us around here. We say, I reckon not, or whatever. I don't think he's talking about that so much as he's talking about an accounting system where you reconcile things, and you put them in the right perspective. Um, God is using your losses to build you up. So, but we're counting them as losses when they should be on the positive side. How will you go forward? So, Paul uh, is a man that suffered while he was down here. He didn't get his stories like I do, a lot of them. I mean, I do tell personal stories, but uh, from a book or from someplace, or I heard he lived his stories, and they were personal stories. And it says, Acts 14:19 through 20 says, "And there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead. Howbeit, as the disciples stood round about him, he rose up and came into the city, and the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe." Uh, they stoned him, and he just jumped right back up. That's the way I feel entirely, is that if you get knocked down 7 times, get up at least 7 times. And so, as I said, for I reckon, that's a counting term. It depends on what you think about what's happening to you. That makes all the difference in the world. It's not so much as what's happening to you or what someone else thinks is happening to you. It's what your take is on what happens to you. Is it a liability or is it an asset? Where are you putting things? And that's the difference in people. Two people could go through the same thing, and one of them come out good, and the other one come out moaning and groaning. And it's because they put it on a different side of the ledger. Uh, One go through a trial and say, "Oh me, I'm never going to be the same," kind of deal. The other one said, "This is going to make me a better man. This is going to make me a better woman." They put it on the asset side. Is it a liability or is it an asset? Where are you putting it? The Bible said, "Count it all joy." That's the Bible's accounting system. You just put it all on the joy side. He said, James 1, 2 through and 3 said, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations." Oh, me. Boy, we moan and groan, and we certainly don't count it all joy. I'm guilty too. Uh, Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Counting system. I know in school they taught me to count. It was difficult at first. Eight and multiplication and all that. 8 times 8 used to be difficult. It's easy now. So once you get to learning how to do the counting system, it gets easier. Um, if you can count to 10, you can count to 100, to 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Then you start over. 11. That's the one on the first level with another one to it. 11, 12, a 2 on the first system with a 1 in front of it. 11, 12, 13, and so on. Get to the next level, 21. Get to the next level, 31, and keep counting. And so if you can count to 10, you can count to 1,000. God's accounting system, God's math, it's different than man's math. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you. Uh, in God, 1 plus 1 equals 1 sometimes. A man 1, a woman 1. It's not 2 when they join together, it's 1. Same with the church. You got no matter how many people, but when they come together as one, that's when the Lord blesses. Deposits and withdrawals. Uh, Maybe you're doing your math wrong there, or I've been doing my math wrong there. You cannot withdraw until you make deposits. So I know Brother Dewey Barrier. I think he died in '86. It's a long time ago, but I remember him, and I remember this sermon. He took a. He said that he liked. He said, "Get you a piece of paper," and he said he liked one with lines on it, and take it and divide it in the middle and go down the middle of the page. On the first side, you write what's going for you and what's going against you. He said, start with what's going for you. Write down that list. And he said, if you're not ashamed, then start on your list about what's going against you. You'll never make it to that side of the list if you're thinking in the right way. We have something happen to us. We think, well, this is not the time for me to go through this pain and this trial. Not now. But we don't get to pick the times, nor do we get to pick the trial. We don't get to pick the battles we're in. We don't get to pick the weapons we're going to use, or the weapons that's used against us, or the rocks that's thrown to hurt me. I heard about it, people throwing bricks at you, use them to build a foundation to build something else. And I love reading about Paul, because I know that it's just not a motivational speaker or preacher trying to get me motivated, but this is a man that has been through more than I'll ever go through. Paul did an audit in his head. The way you reckon with something is how you deal with it. Have you ever had your business audited? It's one of these nail biters. But God is doing an audit on us, and we ought to be doing an audit on our life. How you reckon determines whether you lay there and play dead or you'll get up and be victorious. How you reckon will determine whether you forgive or whether you'll have a feeling to get somebody that's went on with their life. You have a feeling against somebody, and hopefully you don't and I don't, but if you do, you still holding on to the thing. You look out in life at church or wherever, and they're going on with their life, and there you are stuck in the mud. And is that worth it? No, it's not worth it. Suffering equals liabilities, but you can count some on the asset side. Is your faith stronger than your fear? I came here to tell you this morning that you can do whatever somebody else can do. I used to see those old children of God, the ones that I looked up to, and this is the way they did. And I thought, I'll never be able to do that. But if you keep after it, if you keep desiring it and want to do that way, I may not never be as good as they were at it, but I can be as good as I can be. I came to tell you that God is a God of profit. He doesn't want an unprofitable servant. I was talking about the audit. If God be for you, who can be against you? That tells where things line up. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Keep on counting till you get it right and you see a profit. If you keep on counting, and I tell you, I'm not through counting. Count it all up. Because the enemy will try to kill you with your own weapon. I see people I see people that I know their counting system's wrong, because everything's everything's an old me and whatever. And then, friends, I'm not trying to tell you that I've always got it right or I still get it right. But I try to hold my head up. I try to put things in the right perspective. Um, you think of something or you see something, it'll be a negative thought come at the first. So try to turn it into a positive thought. Since March of 2018, I've found out I had cancer, had heart trouble before then. But that's the bad news. But the good news is I'm closer to my destination. I'm gonna try to end with this example. I heard a song years ago. It wasn't really a song. A man was talking in it. I think I mentioned it on another video, but he was talking to his buddy or something. He said, "I went on an airplane ride," and the guy said, "That's good." And he said, "No, it was bad because the airplane developed engine trouble." He said, that is bad." He said, "No, that's good. I had a parachute on there when we started going down." The guy said, "That's good." He said, No, that's bad because the parachute didn't open." And he said, "Well, that is bad." He said, No, there was a haystack down where I was going." And he said, "Well, that's good." He said, "Well, no, it's bad. There was a pitchfork down there." And he said, "Oh, well, that's bad." He said, "No, I missed the pitchfork." "That's good." And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And there's good and bad in all situations, and you can find something good about anybody. I've enjoyed getting this to you today. I've got it to you because I care about you. I'm going to give you my phone number, 256-508-4410. If you need me, leave me a little message. If I don't get it, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And may God bless you. May God richly bless you until we do this again.